Hi third graders! Today we will have a short review about Module 5 before you take your module assessment. Study hard! Hello friends, I am back and we will begin our review for Module 5. We have a problem. It says Irene has 2 yards of fabric. I will circle. Use my strategy. Circle that. Letter A says, draw a number line to represent the total length of Irene's fabric. So here I know I have 2 holes, so my number line will look like this. We start from 0 and end in 2 because that's 2 yards. And so we need to complete the numbers. That's why we need to put 1 yard in the middle. So that's letter A. Let's double check. I drew a number line to represent the total length of Irene's fabric. Yes, this is the total length. Now, Irene cuts her fabric into pieces of 1/5 yard in length. Partition the number line to show her cuts. So, the pieces, one piece is 1/5 yard. That means 1/5, I will have 5 equal parts, and one part of it, the unit fraction, is 1/5. So let's go back to our number line and partition the whole, which is 0 to 1, to 5 equal parts. And the next whole, we do the same thing. So now I can label my number line starting from 0/5, 5/5 equals a whole, and 10/5 equals 2 yards. Let's also box 0. So the question now is, how many 1/5 yard pieces does she cut all together? Use number bonds with copies of holes to help you explain. So now we can just count the spaces. As you can see, that's 1/5. So how many did we get up to 2 yards? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The answer is 10 pieces of 1/5. She cut 10 pieces of 1/5 of the yarn. And for the number bond, we can just write 2 yards is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 1/5. There you go, boys and girls. So okay, here is another set of problems that we can practice first before you take your Module 5 assessment. Let's begin with number 1. It says, shade the models to compare the fractions. So I'm going to shade the models to compare the fractions. And boys and girls, don't forget when we're comparing, we write our GLE, our greater, less, and equal sign or symbols. Okay, so put that, it's safe in that corner. Now here we go, 2/3, that means 3 parts with 2 shaded. So I'm gonna shade this, shade 1, and shade 2. So that's 2/3. Okay, and I'm just gonna write the fraction here, 3 parts and 2 shaded, 2/3. Now let's go to 2/8, 8 parts with 2 shaded, 1, 2. And we say that is 8 parts, 2 shaded. Okay, now it says, which is larger, 2/3 or 2/8? Why? Use words to explain. So as you can see, we have the shaded parts right here. That's 2/3, and right here. So which one is larger? Of course, 2/3. And we can say also that 2/3 is greater than 2/8 because, why do you think? The size of the shaded parts of the thirds is bigger. Okay, now let's go to number 2. Draw a model for each fraction. Circle the smaller fraction. Okay, so I will make sure I draw the model for each fraction, and then I'm going to circle the smaller this time. Let me use my black. 3/7. That means I'm going to have 7 parts. And of course, I will try my best to have the same size of the whole. So 3/7, that means I'm going to have 1 here and then 6 on the remaining spaces. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 parts, and then 3, that means I am going to shade 3. So that's 3/7. Now 3/4. This one is pretty easy because this is fourths. You will just split first the rectangle in the middle, and then, okay, let's erase that. It's not really in the middle. Okay, now let's there you go, and then fourths. That's fourths. Now let's erase this. All right, that's fourths, and then it says 3, so I'm gonna shade 1, 2, and 3. So that's 4 parts, 3 shaded. So which one is smaller? Because that's what the question is asking us. This is smaller. So we can say 3/7 is smaller. That means lesser than 3/4. Okay, I think boys and girls, you are ready to take your test. You are mathematicians, and you are awesome.